What up, guys? Prince Sports here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. I want to talk about Damian Lillard and his comments, and this other dude named Dan Orgowski, I believe if I'm pronouncing his name right, coming at Damian Lillard. Okay, now let's get to what Dame said. Dame said, if this season comes back, I don't want to come back and play meaningless games. Meaning we're 3.5 games out the playoffs, right? I don't want to just come to and play these games knowing that I'm not going to go to the playoffs. Because the rumor has it that the season was going to come back and it was just going to play about 70 games, a total of 70 games. Meaning they're only going to play 3 more regular season games. And the Portland Trailblazers is 3.5 games out the playoffs. So regardless of what, even if they won all 3 of those games, they will still be out of the playoffs, right? And his notion was, why are you having us play if we can't compete to go to the playoffs? The reason why we play 82 games is to have a shot to go at the playoffs. Yeah, we're 3.5 games out, but we still have 15 games to go. And anything can happen, We're trying to get to the postseason and compete, because once we get to the postseason, it's 0-0. Anything can happen. All right. So you had a lot of guys like Jalen Rose and a couple other dudes came to his defense, because he was like, hey, it makes sense. Why would this guy want to, risk going out there playing meaningless basketball games? He felt like the season was practically already over if you guys going to have us compete for nothing. I mean, this is why I say if you're going to start the season back up, all those teams like the Knicks and Golden State Warriors, don't even play those teams because you're wasting your time. They don't have no position to even go to the playoffs. So we're wasting opportunity and pretty much a lot of opportunity on just watching the playoffs because these guys aren't going to make it. So what they're going to do, just be a punching bag for the regular remaining 16 teams that go into the playoffs? Doesn't make any sense. All right. So Damian Lillard, he being a real one. He's speaking out what he truly feels. So you guys can't have it both ways. You can't have your athletes come out and say, I don't like what he's saying, this, that, and the third. But then demand for these guys to speak truthful. All right. He's being real with his, he's telling you how he feels. So you're going to have to check it or respect it at that point, So this guy, Dan Orgowski, if that's what I'm pronouncing his name right, he's a clown. He comes out and says, listen, Damian Lillard, you're being incredibly selfish right now. There's doctors, there's policemen, there's all these other type of people that have to work, so you should have to work. Listen, you idiot. Damian Lillard is a professional basketball player, okay? Saying a basketball player has to come to work in the pandemic when there's more important stuff at risk than fucking basketball, okay? Life is more important than basketball. If the NBA don't come back, life will still continue, all right? You could get that back, all right? It's just a fucking basketball game. At the end of the day, it's a want. It's not a need to have the NBA season to come back. We need doctors and people working in certain stores and things like this to keep the economy going. All right. This is why guys like Charles Barkley said, the most bravest people in the world are firefighters, policemen, doctors, and stuff like that. Policemen. Me personally, I don't need policemen. I think the cops are full of it. I don't really deal with the cops. That's not my type of thing. Where I come from, we don't talk to the cops, But I'm not going to throw all of them completely under the bus. I do understand there's some good police officers out there that actually do their job the right way. Not the pigs and the scumbags that you got, killing people for no reason. But this guy, how are you going to compare people putting their life on the line to protect other people or putting their life on the line to help sick people to fucking basketball? That don't make no sense. Damian Lillard's job playing basketball is not the be all say all to this pandemic. Okay? Now, if Damian Lillard wants to help out in other ways, give $1 million to this place, to that place, that's cool. All right? That's helping out the community and the society. But he said Damian Lillard was a brat and like entitled and stuff like that. And Damian Lillard clapped back at this dude. He said, listen, man, MF, watch your mouth. My background, my family, the things I've been through, my life is far from being entitled or spoiled like a brat. I mean, that dude's from Oakland, man. Okay? He been through the trenches. He come from aspects of life of like people like myself. All right? So this clown, we're gonna sit there and tell a brother that he don't know what hardship is and he's a brat, he's spoiled and all this nonsense. Dog, watch your mouth, man. Who the fuck is you? Who are you, dog? Do you even watch basketball? Do you even know about it? You guys can tell me who this guy is, because I don't really know this guy from a hole in the wall, all right? All I know is he has something to do with football. You know, I do watch and follow football a little bit, but not to the point that I know everybody. You know, I never heard of this guy in my entire life. This dude's a clown. You know, so yeah, Damian Lillard clapped back at this guy. And, you know, I got to give Damian Lillard his props. He's a real one, man. You know, this is a guy, he comes from the old school. He not even rocking with this whole super team type of stuff, you know? He like, fuck it, I stay on my own team. I stay on my team and I try to build this team from the ground up. You know, he got old school value, so he's not even with all that other stuff. And he's one of the few guys that stood up for Carmelo Anthony when a lot of other stars didn't want to have no parts of Carmelo Anthony. You know, he stood up and said, yo, pick Carmelo Anthony on the team. We could use him. You know? So all the best of luck to Damian Lillard, you know? And you got to give it up to him, man. He a real one. I remember somebody said to Damian Lillard, he hit that shot over Paul George. Was that a lot of pressure? Was that, you know, this, that, and there? He was like, man, there ain't no pressure. I grew up with a single mother in Oakland. That was pressure. This ain't shit. You know? Damian Lillard is a real one. You know, and here's a little quick things that he had to say to address that, so you could get where he's coming from as well.
This season,
I mean, I felt like the way the story was written, it was taken out of context because it was a casual conversation. And it was like expletive this, expletive that, but it wasn't a demonstrative statement. I was just saying, you know, we've been off for 2 months, and if we come back, we want to play for something. You know what I mean? So after this type of break, usually when you come back, you know, especially with how fast we're going to be jumping into playing, you know, I think guys are at risk for injury, also at risk of, you know, being exposed to whatever, because, you know, none of us have been around each other. If so many teams are going to be in one spot. So there's so many things out there that, you know, we could be at risk of. So, I mean, if we're going to do it, obviously as players, we want to play, but we want to play for something, especially if we were in position to play for that in the first place.
Appreciate you social media since you said that.
Nothing really. I mean, I feel like it hasn't been much. I feel like, and one of the reasons I haven't heard from many other players, you know, possibly other guys that feel the same way. You know, they want to play for something. And some people might be looking at it like, you know, it's almost summer. This is usually when it's our break. And if we're going to come back and not be able to actually play for an opportunity to continue to play, then, you know, I feel like some guys would prefer to just go on about their summer, you know, but I want to play. I've said that many times. I want to play. I just want to play for opportunity to be in the postseason. You know, and I didn't feel like that was a bad statement.
Well, the Trailblazers were sort of in the hunt for the 8 seed. And you think of some teams like the Cavs and the Hawks and the Knicks, they're completely out of it now. They might not come back, but If you could sort of design how this season should be restructured, how would you restructure the rest of this season in the bubble?
If I could, I would, design some type of play-in tournament between all the teams that were in striking distance, because Sacramento was playing their best basketball of the season. So was New Orleans, and so were we. And none of those teams were in the playoffs, but we were within striking distance. With enough games left in the season to catch Memphis. So I feel like a play-in tournament would be perfect. Just because we actually were in striking distance and also had enough games to get in the playoffs. But to that point, if they did decide that, we just gonna go straight to the playoffs, obviously we would all be disappointed. But to this point, we haven't performed to be in that top 8. So if that's the case, then fine. But if we're gonna just come back to play games, I feel like that would make it, that'd be harder on everybody else.
We appreciate you joining us from the facility, rocking the Scully, since you haven't got a cut since you stopped playing basketball. What the workouts been like, Dame Dollar? You been able to work out with any teammates?
We haven't worked out together, but, every day that I come in, I see Melo in here, CJ is in here, Winnie and Gabriel. We got, a pretty solid amount of guys coming in, even though it could be 4 of us at a time. They kicking dudes out when they done working out so the next person could come in, so we never have too many people in here. But it's been good. I've been able to get my work done, and stay in some type of shape. So that's good enough for me.
So, Dame, you mentioned a little earlier about sort of the uncertainty of going to a bubble and not being that sort of person-to-person contact and all the people that would have to travel to get there. What do you need in place to feel safe and to feel secure going into some sort of a bubble environment to finish the season?
If they say we're going to go do it, I'm prepared to go do it. I think if they're saying that they're putting us in a environment that's as safe as possible, I think that's all you can ask. And I don't think we would be any more at risk than we are, I guess, in our everyday lives going to the grocery store. Like, I've been to the grocery store a few times with my fiance.
Me too.
And,
Me too.
Stop and pick up some food. I've done little things, obviously not going and hanging out with a bunch of people and stuff, but just stuff, essential things, if you would say that, where I've been out and just doing what I need to do, picking up what I need to pick up, where I could possibly have been exposed to anything, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like what's being presented, I feel like it would be the same amount of risk as, what probably all of us have been doing in our everyday. Outside of the fact that.
So, there you have it.
ESPN Plus.
He did apologize because he know he was in the wrong. And he felt guilty when Damian Lillard was ethering his ass. He didn't thought Damian Lillard had the guts to clap back. That's what you get when you mess with a real one. All right? Now, also, I forgot to tell you, want to also give a shout out to Damian Lillard because he gave us a basketball. NBA 2K 20 basketball was like one of the pink and blue ones. He gave to Hannah before. I had the job that she worked down in, the city of Los Angeles. And I messed this ball up, man. If I know this ball was worth the money that it was worth, I would have kept it, But shout out to Damian Lillard, man. He was a real one. Yeah. He was one of the few players that we came across that was actually real. I ran into Nate Robinson that same year as well. Man, he's even shorter in person. But, maybe I'll tell that story some other time. But anyway, Dame Dollar with the dagger on Dan. Next time you want to talk about somebody, make sure you get your facts right, Dan.